Hare Krishna. Welcome to Tax YouTube channel. This is C. Rohan R. Pingale, practicing chartered accountant based in Mumbai, also partner in Motilal and Associates LLP, member firm of Marks Network. Welcome to the video series on concurrent audit of bank branches. And today we are going to conduct session 8, and that is on audit of loan accounts, and we will see basics of it. So let me allow to share my screen. Let's dive into it. Yes, so loans and advance portfolios constitute the largest asset and risk areas for banks. In most branches, advances account for 60 to 75% of total assets, and therefore credit risk directly affects what? Profitability, NPS, and capital adequacy. For concurrent auditors, loan accounts form the most critical area of examination, and the audit must cover the entire life cycle of a loan, that is beginning from sanction to monitoring. So in this session, we will examine the basic framework of loan audit, covering what? Understanding the types of advances, what are the broad types of advances, examining the sanction process, ensuring the proper documentation, verifying the disbursement controls, and monitoring the post-disbursement compliance. So this will help auditors to detect what irregularities early and strengthen the credit discipline. So let's start with it. Understanding the audit of loan accounts. So in slide, you will see the key objectives of loan account and importance for concurrent audit of it. So the objective of loan audit is not merely checking the documents. Instead, it is to evaluate the credit process as a whole. So loan audit verifies whether the bank has followed its credit policy, ensured adequate security, and conducted the proper due diligence before the disbursement. So monitor the account effectively. RBI has emphasized that the robust appraisal and effective monitoring across the loan life cycle are essential for preventing the frauds and credit losses. So for concurrent auditors, this means examining both the procedural, compliance, and risk indicators. Moving further, let's see loan life cycle, that is by audit perspective. So in the slide, you will see the stages in loan life cycle, that is credit proposal, sanction, pre-disbursement checks, documentation, disbursement of loan, post-disbursement, and audit focus full compliance at each stage is necessary. So the audit approach should follow the loan life cycle, that is from the initiation to the post disbursement also. So each stage involves what? Specific control checks. At sanction stage, authority and appraisal. At documentation stage, enforceability of the security. And at disbursement stage, end use verification is very much important. And at monitoring stage, financial discipline is required. So if auditors review the loan systematically across this life cycle, they can identify issues before they become NPS or frauds. So that is very important. Next, let's see types of advances. The broad classification includes fund-based advances and non-fund based advances, and other common classifications like priority sectors or non-priority sector, secured versus unsecured advances, and short-term versus long-term loans. So the understanding the type of advance is the first step in loan audit, because what? Because why risks varies across the different credit products. So documentation requirements also differ as per the loan type. So monitoring procedures is also different as per based on the what is the broad classification. So advances may be fund based or non-funds, as I said, depending on whether the bank immediately deploys the funds or only provides a guarantee or commitment. That is the main thing. Let's moving further understand the What are the fund-based advances? Okay, loans, fund-based advances are loans where bank funds are directly disbursed to the borrower. So in this, fund-based facilities involve direct outflow of the bank funds, hence they carry higher credit risks. For example, cash credit, working capital finance against the stocks and receivables, term loans, that is loans for capital expenditure like machinery or building, overdrafts, flexible credit limits for customers. So the auditor must verify whether drawing power is correctly calculated, whether limits are exceeded, whether security margins are maintained or not. So this need to be taken care of. Let's understand if you have seen in the types for the fund based, that is the term loan, cash credit, overdraft, bill discounting, packing credit, demand loans, various types of fund based. Now, moving further, let's understand non-fund based advances. The facilities where bank doesn't immediately lend money but undertakes what a contingent liability is what non-fund based advances. Example, bank guarantee, letters of credit, co-acceptances like that. So here risks for bank, if borrower defaults, bank must honor the commitment and pay to the beneficiary. So our audit focus should be valid sanction, adequate margin, expiry dates, invocation risks that need to be taken care of. So the non-fund based facilities appear as contingent liabilities in the bank's balance sheet. Although funds are not immediately disbursed, but risk is still significant because if the borrower fails to perform the obligation, then what bank must pay for it. So concurrent auditor should check whether guarantee limits are within the sanction, whether adequate margin is obtained, and whether expired guarantees are reversed. That need to be taken care of. Moving further, let's understand sanction process. So the sanction process determines the quality of the loan portfolio. So credit appraisal should analyze borrower background is very important to understand, financial statements, industry risks. What are the industry risks here? The repayment capacity. So a weak appraisal often leads to NPAs or fraud. So concurrent auditor, as a concurrent auditor, we should verify whether proper appraisal note exists, financial ratios are analyzed, and sanction conditions are documented as per the sanction terms and conditions. Moving further, let's see delegation of powers. So here bank operates through delegation of credit powers to ensure what efficient decision making. However, delegation must be strictly followed. Common irregularities include under this sanction beyond the powers, splitting proposals into smaller limits, and post facto approvals. So concurrent auditor must verify sanction authority and delegation compliance, whether it is as per the given policy norms by the bank. Let's see what are the pre-disbursement checks. So as you have seen in the slide, key checks before loan disbursement, execution of loan documents properly, creation of security, compliance with sanction conditions, insurance of assets, margin contribution by borrower. So auditor focus will be ensure that no disbursement before the completion of formalities. That is we need to be taken care of. So one of the most important controls in lending in ensuring that the all sanction conditions are complied with before the disbursement. So here common lapses include disbursement before the documentation itself, incomplete collateral security, and no margin brought in by the borrower. Very common lapse is that disbursement before the documentation. Many times it happens. So as a concurrent auditor, we should verify the checklist and sanction compliance before funds are released. And if they are not, then we need to bring to the first branch manager itself. And if he is the part of that particular thing, we need to report it in our audit report. That's should be taken care of. Next, let's understand the documentation of loans. Very important part. So we purpose of the documentation is what? For establish the legal enforceability in case of mischief, protect the bank's rights, provide the evidence of date. But many times the branch officials taken this very lightly. So we as a concurrent auditor need to take care of it. So proper documentation is critical because it is a defensive documents and can render the security unenforceable if anything, if there is no signature of the borrower on one or two pages. So at that enforceability, it cannot be enforced. So that need to be taken care of. So auditor, as an auditor, we should ensure that the documents are properly executed, they are adequately stamped and signed, and signatures and dates are present. That is also very much important. So documents match the sanction terms. So that need to be taken care of. So let's understand charge creation and registration. So creation and registration of charge establish the bank's legal claim over the borrower assets in any case, in mischief happens in the future. So for companies, charges must be registered with the register of companies within the prescribed timeliness, and failure to register charges can weaken the bank security position. So as a concurrent auditor, we must verify the charge registration certificates and records are properly documented and they have taken actually. So that need to be taken care of. Next, let's understand disbursement controls. So loan disbursement must strictly follow sanction terms and conditions. For example, machinery loans should be paid directly to supplier only, not routed through the borrower's account. Housing loans should be stage-wise based on construction progress, and that is also disbursed directly to the builder or the developer and not to the personal account of the borrower. So auditor must verify the bank statements, invoices, and payment trails too. Moving further, very important, let's understand post-disbursement monitoring. So even well-sanctioned loans can become NPAs in future if monitoring is weak. Bank must continuously monitor the borrower financial health, security value, repayment behavior. Means there should be a system into the bank for this type of things. So early warning signals help detect potential stress and enable timely corrective action. So we need to understand the process of post monitoring also. What are the bank policy, what they have, what the controls they have to have this post monitoring is going correctly and in a favor of the bank, in the beneficial point of view of the bank. So that need to be taken care of as a concurrent auditor. So let's understand the role of concurrent auditor related to the audit of loan accounts. So concurrent auditor act as an independent oversight within the bank branch, right? So their reports helps the management identify the control weaknesses in the processes, detect the irregularities very early, and strengthen the credit discipline. So effective concurrent audit contributes significantly to the credit risk management and fraud prevention. And now we are moving to the conclusion and key takeaways for the today's session. So a strong audit of loan accounts ensures what? The financial stability, regulatory compliance, and trust in the banking system. So in concluding, advances are the core business and primary risk areas of banks. Therefore, auditor must approach loan accounts not merely as a one of the document checking, but as a holistic risk evaluation process. A vigilant concurrent auditor can detect early warning signals, prevent the frauds, and improve what? Credit quality. So this ultimately supports stronger banking governance and financial system stability. And as a concurrent auditor, we need to be taken care of these aspects. So thank you so much for patient hearing. Please note down my contact numbers. If you have any questions, observations, suggestions, then do let me know via WhatsApp, or you can also email and also comment below the video. Thank you so much. If you have not yet subscribed Tax Guru YouTube channel, then do subscribe for latest updates and video series like this. So thank you so much once again. Bye bye. Take care. See you soon. Hare Krishna.